All right, people, we are live for astrology vlog number 3. Today I'll be talking about my Saturn return in the 12th house Aries. I'll share my screen and I'll go ahead and just leave Saturn as the only planet on the screen that's it's nice to remove most of the planets. It just simplifies the chart. And in that way, you can focus on one thing at a time, and it's just a lot easier, a lot cleaner. So you can visually see that Saturn is pretty close to my natal Saturn. He's still in Pisces. He has a ways to go. And so I'm making this vlog today, but I'm sure that I'm going to make many vlogs about the Saturn return as it elapses over time. Because there's different teachings over time, there's different events that take place, there's different levels at which I'll experience the return. And um, I mean, it's something very big that's happening, so it cannot be encapsulated in one video. Never mind. Um, Now you'll notice that my Saturn natally is in the 12th house and also in the sign of Aries. And now that Saturn is moving direct, I'm officially in the Saturn return period. It's going to be exact in May. I'm making this video on December 30th, so I have about 5 months. But I'm already feeling it pretty strong. And again, the 12th house is the house of rest and recovery and silence and quiet. And Saturn is coming from the 11th house of society, social media, interaction with many human beings. And my reflection lately has been about how much rest I need. Because when I meet with clients, if I'm not fresh, if I don't have my full mental acuity, I feel that. I feel how my brain doesn't fully register, fully remember everything they're saying, fully focus, and therefore I can't do great work. And it happened to me also in the group meetings because I have a learning community and we meet twice a week at this time. And for one of the meetings, just before that meeting, I was running around, I was cooking, I was playing video games, and my brain was like so frazzled. And I remember just sitting in front of the computer like 3 minutes before the meeting was supposed to begin, and I was so overstimulated. And now I'm about to do a 2-hour meeting that I'm supposed to lead. And let me tell you, that meeting was a bit more of a disaster than the ones previous. It's harder for me to find my place when I'm also supposed to guide multiple people at the same time, because then there's multiple energies to manage. And when those kinds of events happen, it's also helpful just to consider the fact that, for instance, you can see transiting Mercury's at 26. That event happened on Saturday, no, on Sunday. So you can see Mercury was at 23, but still very close to an exact square to transiting Saturn at 25. So there was a lot of interference, it felt like, in that particular meeting. And I just couldn't connect my thoughts well together. And so I even felt kind of embarrassed. Maybe the people in the meeting didn't notice it, but I felt like it wasn't as clear and direct and clean as it usually is. And that just made me think about I need to lay down and close my eyes and take a gap between anything that I'm going to do. Instead of sit on my phone and scroll and keep on absorbing people's thoughts and ideas and watching TikToks, some of which are very depressing or kind of negative or make me feel helpless. For instance, when it's about political stuff, if you know, you know. And there you can see the transition from Saturn in the 11th to Saturn in the 12th. It's kind of like I want to move away from being constantly engaged with the global human mind, which is by reading people's threads or by watching people's TikToks or by seeing what's happening in the political environment or by playing video games constantly, and just spend more time like in bed with my eyes closed, resting, letting my mind just and then become very clean. And then I can just move on to the next task, whether that's meeting with someone or making a video or having dinner or cooking, and just have that space made so I can transition into that activity with full availability for it. So you can feel the 12th house maybe in everything that I'm saying. The 12th house of silence and rejuvenation and recovery. And that's pretty hard for me because I'm so used to just rushing around in every direction. And now the Aries part of it is also interesting because I had this mantra that came about when I was reflecting on this. And it was about rest and execute. Rest and execute. So many of us have ideas and we just think and imagine what we're going to do and what um, we would like to put into action, but we never actually act on it. Or speaking for myself, I have a hard time acting. I have a hard time making things happen. I just think about them. And then it seems like a very good idea, but then I kind of don't have the energy or don't have the confidence or just bottom line, I just don't do it. For example, these videos that I'm making, this vlog has been sitting in my mind since 3 years, maybe longer. And just now I'm finally getting to do it. Never mind, there's an exact timing in anything, in everything. So it's totally fine that it is this way. And so the idea was about, instead of reading what people have to say and watching videos, just sit, imagine, have my ideas, and then execute, like make them happen. So instead of having that huge gap between an idea and execution, like in this example I gave you, it was 3 years, make that gap like a minute or an hour or a couple days. And now if you think about the Saturn return, that's like a 29, 30-year cycle. So I'm just ending my previous cycle, which is, let's say, the cycle of childhood, and I'm entering my adult cycle, right? Because that's what the Saturn return is about, maturing. And yeah, in order to make things happen, I just have to start acting. I have to start doing stuff. And I lose my train of thought a little bit because I received some messages I'm sure you guys heard. So I'm just gonna quickly um put my phone on do not disturb. By the way, even the do not disturb is like very 12th house. Like leave me alone, nobody talk to me. I want to be with my own mind. Separated, disconnected from the world and connected to myself. And so you can see that in the Saturn return, like a big deal for me is to learn how to make things happen, learn how to manage my energy better, learn how to execute, rest and execute, be away from all the noise, take a moment to recover, have a clear idea about what to do, and make it happen. So there's my reflection about this part of the Saturn return that I'm kind of in the middle of now. And you have to keep in mind that The return itself is a long event, so there should be a contributing transit to make me reflect on this so deeply at this time. And there is. You can see that the transiting sun is squaring my natal Saturn. And stay in the call. The sun, one of his influences is to put a spotlight on something, make you think about something. And therefore, during this exact period, the sun is squaring my Saturn. And you can see it's coming from the sign of Capricorn. And I can add a little detail about this. I feel like in order to build my business and to be very productive and to make something real in the world, which is going to take me a long time, and I have to put work in every single day, which is all the nature of Capricorn. Capricorn, the seagull that is coming from the deepest waters and climbing the highest mountains. You know, it takes a long time to get from the water to the mountain. It's ages of evolution. But condensed into this small period, if I want to really make things happen, then I have to start being more strict and disciplined with myself. I have to slow down and focus on being productive rather than consumptive. And there's the cardinal square. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. It's good if these videos aren't too long. Maybe you find them to be kind of repetitive or well, I have to also find my way and find my voice as I do this. So, that is vlog number 3. As always, if you leave some feedback, that helps me to understand what makes sense to you, what doesn't, so I can make this even better in the future. And I hope that as you listen, you also try to apply what you're learning to your own chart and you work with it a little more meaningfully by paying attention to your transits, by paying attention to the relative length of cycles. That way you can organize your mind better to understand where you are in terms of the time. That's good for now. See you in the next vlog. Bye, everyone.